And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in the Shadow Empire at the top of round 150. We have 8 decisions and just short of 100 reports that we probably won't look at. We got some fuel that we probably won't need. We actually completed one of our demands. We kept a promise. Developed radiation cleansing. Got our quad MG that we probably won't use. Improve way of working suggested. Yeah, lose government, gain commerce. Sure, we'll adapt to the method. We'll leave that balanced as fine. Physical storage and mass food production. I'm gonna go, or power banks. Let's go power banks here. It does technically unlock one extra technology as well. It's a prerequisite to different technology. I think here we want to actually do some discovery, so no new orders for the moment. Here nothing really matters. I've already developed one from Oob. Oob I have already. Positive will help. Extend the mine. There should be one that's basically empty. In fact, as I was fearing, it did empty out over the end turn. So this oil well just emptied. Last time it had like last turn it had like 800. So we gained probably gained that 800 fuel. So let's put more oil back in it. It's got another 17,000 oil in it now. Return the spy, accept and refuse or accept the payment. 5 or 3. 5 isn't really that much better than 3, so we'll just accept the payment here. We'll take the 11 political power. Zones. I don't think we need to. Yeah, we don't have another commercial one to plop down. Let's take a quick check at mining. Reserves low. It's a little early to do for the 3001, so we've got like 4 more. We'll do it in 4 more turns for Bergstone again. Construction. All the construction has now finished. So that does mean we still want to queue up some new construction. So here we want to expand the truck station. And here we want to continue to deepen the soil demilitarization design. And that's what we'll do for the moment for construction. Got a bunch of political power, but we'll do the political power in a moment. We'll have the mercs do their murky stuff and running forward. They're running forward. These guys can run forward as well. So this point basically means I should probably just have, okay, 10th and 8th sharing basically the same color is not the best of ideas. So let's go to unit admin. Let's change the 8th's color here. Let's give them a yellow. So I can at least tell which one's which. Okay, so we're not in a position to break those guys yet, but those guys are probably not escaping encirclement at this point. You're the 8th command, you're the 10th command, which has actually been running a little bit behind its command, but that's fine. And the militia will keep running south, please. Okay, so that's that front. I think we've pretty much encircled this guy. This guy's probably not escaping. Though we are starting to see more and more units show up on the front. These guys still like us. They're Republican. They do have Republican factions do have factions that would be hostile to us, so we do need to be a little bit careful about them potentially going hostile. Hopefully, as we pull back out of here, this will improve the logistics in this area. Not that the very heavy moving of everything is great for logistics in the moment either, but hopefully getting closer to the logistics force will improve logistics.
Accomplished.
Here we go. We did lose 1 infantry to that, which is not too bad. Ooh, I don't like the fact that we're not doing reconnaissance in these neighboring hexes. I'm not really prepared to do anything about that. Trade, can we buy some petrol? Yep, petrol's pretty cheap.
Roger that.
This is a pretty petrol-rich planet. I just sold the petrol, not bought the petrol. That was the opposite of what I wanted to do.
Roger that.
So let me sell something besides petrol so I can afford to get more petrol back.
Roger that. Roger that.
Here we go. So we got 700, or we got 3,000 petrol, which should be enough. Still haven't got our 3 brigades here properly spooled out, but we're encircling guys. They're mostly spooled out. They're just a little too dense, which is why the front isn't quite as wide as I would like. And the militia are slowly arriving on the front over here, so everything's looking up. Let's spend some of this full power, because we've got a big pile of public power sitting around. Your council. Can I play some Can I play some cards on you? Okay, didn't jump right where I wanted it, but that'll be fine. Could do admin to get you improved quicker. Sure. Is that the Interior Counselor we're looking for? Yes. And administration is an int skill, not a war skill. So Dopinator is not going to help us with what I want to do. Nor would the Tactical Genius. Snake Gift. Oh, we don't have a co-op? No. Middle Merit won't help here. Okay. So let's go back to the nation. I haven't quite buffed them I wanted to, but I can at least still get better quicker. So it's going to be admin role to do that. Is admin role to do that as well? Okay, yeah, so we might play a couple grand conventions. I was thinking about potentially running, what was it? Running Mission Impossible. Well, that's leadership. Leadership, I think, is actually charisma. Yeah, leadership is charisma. Not that I have the charisma one either. Yeah, well, charisma I can buff with Medal of Merit, so we'll give him a Medal of Merit.
Affirmative.
Oh wait, still pretty unlikely to do it. Right, he's got a 6% chance of success. Granted, I think the failure here... Well, not the critical failure, but the normal failure I think still gives you a point. So we'll do one roll of that, and then we'll do a roll of Grand Convention.
Affirmative.
Which he's much more likely to succeed in the Grand Convention. So everyone's gained 14 XP. And to be fair, because we just gave him a relic that gives him more XP, he got 21 XP from that. So he's getting a bunch of XP that way. That is our political power spend for the turn. Let's roll the turn. So we're doing a pretty good job at getting control of more of the planet. Really, if I wanted to make leaps and strides at this point, I need to be taking control of population centers. That's what I'm missing right now, is we're not getting any good population centers. Our units are kind of rolling across the barren wastelands, taking unused oil wells that we don't really want to use, and not really taking any people. We need people, not oil. Oh, we're getting attacked. That hurt. So yeah, the hostile major decided to show off his troop prowess. I think that was a bunch of our mercs that just got murked. Which makes sense, because the mercs are pretty bad. The mercs are pretty bad. The advantage the mercs have is the mercs don't need supplies, right? But they're not great fighters. They are running around with improvised rifles right now, if memory serves, so... Well, the ones that we have are running around with improvised rifles. I think the ones that we could currently get are probably running around with proper rifles. But, you know, that still may be a little bit technologically backwards in comparison to our Gauss rifles. Or the Gauss rifles in battle dress that the enemies are running around in. Yeah, so basically we'll reposition our guys here on the south against the rest of the Arachnids, so we'll hopefully start dealing with what's left of the Arachnids in a turn or two. Granted, what's left of the Arachnids will probably take a couple turns. Well, it may take like a decade worth of turns to actually deal with, so it probably won't be dealt with this stream. We killed 100 infantry. In exchange, we lost 800. So that was a bad end turn. We've discovered the technology of ultracapacitors. Yeah, so go ahead and research the ultracapacitors. Military Research Council. What do we want here? So I don't want to do any of the applied stuff. Most of the applied stuff you can see is also aircraft stuff. jetpacks.
Order acknowledged.
Automated turrets just popped up, so let's go ahead and get ourselves some big high-velocity cannons. These are basically anti-tank turrets. Again, big heavy steel plate armor will work well with these. Aliens want to talk with us. I'll come back to you. Well, I want to know how many political power points I have sitting around. We're being blackmailed. I think we can get the money pretty easily for this. Yeah, we can sell off like 20-something machines. That'll be fine.
Roger that.
I'll just do the basic one because I'm not rich enough. Okay, here, so we can send some random guys. We'll send it probably to 16. We're not going to go all the way out because we're only going to get one mind.
Affirmative.
Yeah, so the unit that got rickety wrecked was the mercs. Okay, so the mercs are not, they're not going to be combat capable, is what we're finding out on that very first event there. They're not strong enough to stand up to the enemy if the enemy is ready. So let's deploy the mercs south as well. Let's not have the mercs form up in the battle line. Okay, sorry about the limited talking there. Dealing with coughs, and ideally you probably don't want to hear it. Okay, I think I've dealt with the cough. Hopefully it will not resurface for at least a couple of minutes. Okay. Looks like our ally... Pros and cons. The ally is helping to gather all the territory to our south here, allowing us to redirect all our forces towards the hostile. Pro. You have to defend less frontage. Con. We're getting less territory. Right now, I think it's a good position where I should probably not look a gift horse in the mouth, but it's not quite ideal. It's not exactly what I want, but we'll have to live with it. Units are moving over here. We should start having some surplus units on that front to do stuff on the next turn, which will be nice to see. Okay, so it looks like to continue advancing here, I got this whole mountain range in the way, so we're going to have to eventually, at some point, find a way over the mountain range. And it may just be having to accept that we're going to push through low mountains with roads, which isn't always the nicest thing to do. But if we want the territory, and I do want the territory, at some point I will have to pay the piper. And someone will have to walk over that mountain, probably supplied by road. So that's the Arachnid front, that's the western front. So it's time to roll the turn, I think. Take a quick check on the mining, make sure we're not empty yet. No, we got 2 more turns before I need to push the button. And again, I think from a victory standpoint, we are making progress. In fact, oh no, we're still in second here, right? So, or we're still in third. So we're on the podium, and we're at this point we're securely on the podium. The big thing holding us back is population, right? So the 2 people who are in higher up on the podium on this have got a quarter of the population of the planet each, plus, right? That's what's holding us back, is we need more people. Oh, I suppose the one thing I could have rolled was I probably could have did 1 roll of the unification. Wasn't going to succeed, but could have rolled it. So we'll see how the hostiles maneuver. They're getting closer and closer to actually having a full battle line, by the looks of it. They don't quite have enough to form a battle line, and we still have excess troops, so there's a decent possibility that if they don't fix that problem, we'll start threatening to encircle units. Which, based on how they're responding, is they're responding to the threat of encirclement with withdrawal. So they're giving up territory just to not have to deal with our threat. Our troops are threatening. Oh, to be fair, they're still counterattacking. So, yeah, unlike our mercenaries, which weren't able to take the enemy unit on the face, our line troops are actually holding and not taking too much damage. On the other hand, that Merc, oof. 7,000 guys lost to what 100 guys dealt. Or no, 700 guys lost to 100 guys dealt, so 7-1 losses for the Mercs. It's not a good showing for the Mercs. But yeah, the main benefit of the Mercs is the Mercs don't need supplies. Not that they're great troops. Because as that showing of 7-1 loss ratio on the defensive is, yeah, they're not that good. So our allies are doing their thing. I think's kind of shoring up our southern flank. So the mercs the militia I have running south will probably start running west in short order because they're going to run out of things to run south towards. Irregular tanks get splat. I suspect irregular tanks are probably buggies, so we probably just raid 100 buggy or 10 buggies there. We're in a time of confidence. However, our word's good enough that we're not getting any word. And we have successfully delivered on a demand. Good to see. And we now have our big armored turrets. National budget. Is there anything I want to do in the national budget? Oh, one thing I should do is I probably turn on the staff council. Let's go ahead and move staff council and model council. I actually want the model council working a little bit more than the staff council. The staff is the order of battle stuff that I'm not really interacting with anymore.
Affirmative.
You just did the turret, so we want you to do more discovery. Actually, do the flak gun. We're not going to use it anytime soon, but we'll develop the flak gun. Okay, unification play.
Affirmative.
Still refused, but that was expected. The expectation on that is failure at this point. I'd like success, and success is possible, but it's unlikely. Don't think we need peripheral mining yet. Granted, it might be that just worth doing it, so I don't have to keep checking. Yeah, it's gonna be 2 turns out, even if I don't do it. So it's either this turn and next turn, so I might as well just do it this turn.
Aye, aye, sir.
And then on the nation level, let's do the nationwide grand convention.
Affirmative.
Get everyone some XP. And our advance continues. Do you want to start on the north of the line or the south of the line? Let's... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we'll run you there. Run you there. Meet you there. Not in a good position to attack you, but I know he's going to go running haywire into my rear, so not too worried about him moving around. He's not going anywhere dangerous.
Move it now.
Yeah, the militia aren't really good at dealing with the armored wildlife, so that was a bit of a bad choice.
See you on the other side. Okie dokie.
Okay, so that's that front. We can run this road a little bit farther forward. A little bit of supporting there. And you're basically already up in the front. In fact, these roads at this point are probably going to merge, which is probably not ideal. Probably want to run this one more like this way, but... Okay, over here. Apparently we might be having petrol problems. Yeah, we're having... saying supplies received, but fuel doesn't actually take logistics, so if we're having petrol problems, it's a shortage of petrol. And we can buy 150... for 1,559 fuel, so we'll buy a bunch of fuel. Hopefully they'll get the petrol flowing a little better. We'll try to keep the motorized units moving as well as they can, given the fact that they're out of petrol. Obviously, the troops that are walking on foot go a lot better when comparison to the stuff that requires petrol when we're out of petrol. You actually trying to operate, so let's actually slap you. Well, actually, no, full on disband you. You're not really helping us. That'll take a little bit of time, but it'll go away. Same here. You're not really useful for us, so disassemble you. These guys are way too far off grid to be super useful. That's flank done. We've done the flank down here. Get a little bit of advancement here. Really, we're starting to run into the problems of it's hard to advance in the mountains. Because of mountains. Which is a perfectly reasonable problem to be having with mountains. This is also Veleno territory. Okay, so we're pushing up on an unknown miner here. Didn't realize we were not in non-aligned territory anymore. So what makes these guns unaligned? Oh, it helps if I got the right one in play. This is minor territory, so we'll embed 12 spies. That will give us an understanding of what they are in no time flat. Okay. A little overkill, but overkill is useful sometimes. And that's probably the turn. So let's begin the end turn. So I hope you've been enjoying it. This will be the end of the section. So this will be the end. The end of the end turn will be the end of the section. So we'll basically watch to see how the enemies respond to what we just did. And then, like the previous two parts, I'll go ahead and put in the section break for YouTube. And take a short break, because we're 34-ish minutes into an episode. I want between 30 and 40 minutes. Probably all the interesting stuff that's going to happen during the end turn is going to happen right here at the beginning of the end turn, as we see how the hostile major responds to our advancing on their territory. And it looks like the main thing they respond with is the one guy that got encircled tries to attack. Doesn't look like he was particularly successful attacking, and, well, he's probably not going to be in a position to resist on the next turn, so we will probably remove him from resistance on the next turn. Unknown regimes. Unknown regimes are not necessarily helping or harming us. In fact, this is probably the last major that we haven't actually detected. There are 4 majors in play. There's the one that's hostile, there's the one that's blackmailing, there's the one that's friendly, and then there's the unknown one. I don't know the status of the unknown one, besides we don't know about them. At this point, the unknown one is actually, I think, the one doing the worst. The friendly one's kind of benefiting from the fact that the friendly one shares a lot of common enemies with me, and that's been resulting in those common enemies having a bad day. The blackmailing one's been doing pretty well just because he's been blackmailing with people and not been super hostile. And in fact, the hostile one's been doing pretty well probably because he's been hostile to everyone and just taking stuff. So what's probably changing now for him is now he's having to deal with me, and I'm not a pushover. And again, he's hostile with everyone, so he's... all fronts are hostile. You have no safe places to deal with problems, right? Killed 200 infantry, lost 400 infantry. Have 6 decisions, and this is where the part break will go. So I hope you've been enjoying it. Catch you all in the next part. Bye for now.